So, hey, today I'm speaking with Danielle Kort. She's a fellow life and leadership coach and a very good friend of mine. She's from the States, but has been traveling the world for pretty much the last 2 years, right?
Right.
Last year she was living in Bali, and right now she's in Costa Rica. And today I'm here to talk to her about two of her biggest passions, women and leadership. Um, I also know you have a women's leadership retreat coming up.
I do.
But yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit too.
Awesome.
So Danielle, hey.
Hello.
Tell me what makes you so passionate about women and leadership?
Well, I feel like women, as we know as women so well, that we've been suppressed for a very long time. It's been a patriarchal society structure for as long as we can look back on. There is this big rise right now in feminine energy and feminine, expression, and it's a really exciting time. And I find that it's super important to now ground this into, the reality that is unfolding. And so to ground this, it's important for women to step into their leadership because we're creating these new structures going forward now. And I feel that, in the workplace and anywhere, women, the expressions of femininity have been suppressed. And even though we both have, all people have masculine and feminine energies within them, women tend to express, more of the feminine energies, such as creativity, intuition, nurturing, expressing emotions in a healthy way. And, this, because this has been missing, look at how things have gone in our world today, in government, in business, so much of that has been missing. And so when women bring these to the table and they use their voices, things are going to change rapidly within our business, within the world itself. So I just find it so important, and it lights me on fire to help women step into their leadership roles, because I just know the power of what it's going to be as this happens.
Yeah, awesome. So so it's just, you think it's so important for women to start stepping into these roles, and that's one of the reasons that you're very passionate about this, because you think there's a lot of power in providing that for us and the world.
Yeah, right, everywhere.
Yeah. So if there's a woman out there who's looking to work on her own leadership, what are some of the things she can start doing right away that would help her to do that? Do you think?
I think that as a leader, you are serving as a role model, and so just even to start practicing being a role model, what is it like to be a role model? And one thing that I see a lot of great leaders do is, standing in their truth and not backing down from that truth, even when, someone is confronting them, and maybe they might even bribe them in some way. Are you going to go with that bribe? Are you going to get out of integrity with your own values just to, in a self-serving manner, or because you're scared of them? Like, a true leader will stand in their truth and not back down. And that is, really this thing that people really admire when you actually do that, and you actually be that role model and show others that this is, I'm standing by this. And so I really love that as a quality to start with, staying in integrity with your values. Another one I'd say, especially for women right now, is to know your worth. So, whether this is doing mirror exercises, looking in the mirror, reminding yourself, we all are programmed and conditioned to think very little of ourselves, unfortunately. So we have to come back to that truth and that knowing of how worthy we truly are. And sometimes that just takes telling yourself that on a daily basis, affirming it. Another really awesome way that I have my clients do it is to gather their testimonials for clients they have and put those up on their wall so they can see them every day. Or just, nice things people have said about you. Start collecting those. Like someone compliments you, like write it down and like keep a journal or post it up, because you never know when you might need those days when you forget, And then I'd say the last really important thing is to meditate daily and to ground yourself. So, to be a really great leader, it's important that you're connected to your intuition or your inner guidance that's going to steer you in the right direction. And so often we become ungrounded because we're walking on cement. We're in these cities that are just full of, Wi-Fi and all these crazy signals. And how can you hear your intuition and your truth with all of that? And so what I tell people is to go outside and get your bare feet on the ground, and that helps ground you back into the earth and back to yourself, because nature is healing and it's connecting. And then meditation, of course, helps you quiet all those crazy thoughts that are going miles a minute through your mind. And then things become clear again. Oh yeah, this is the direction. Otherwise, you're just kind of like everywhere. So I'd say those 3 things to start.
Yeah, so that was speaking your truth, knowing your worth. And I love that idea of putting up the testimonials that you have from clients or even just the people in your life, reminding yourself, putting them on the wall, because I know that it's so easy for us to remember everything bad, the criticism that we hear either outside of us or inside of ourselves. And I can imagine that's a really good, way to just remember the good that we hear, and that we can tell ourselves and reinforce those beliefs. And then the third thing was grounding yourself. And nature. I love nature, meditation. Sounds awesome. Speaking your truth, as soon as you started saying that, it reminded me of that speech that Oprah Winfrey made earlier this year at an event. Did you see that?
I don't think so, actually.
No, I have to. But yeah. She made this amazing speech about speaking your truth, and there was a I don't know if you call it a GIF or a GIF that went viral on the internet.
Okay.
It was all about So one of and to your second point, I know that one of my own personal struggles or challenges rather with leadership is partly just my own, like my ability to just own myself as a leader, or rather see myself as worthy as a leader, as a woman too, a powerful woman in her own right. And I used to have it that being a leader wasn't really a natural thing for me. I wasn't a natural leader. So having done more and more of this work, I've led to believe that it is quite natural for many of us. Is there anything that you can say to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, it is that programming and conditioning that has been put on us as we're born into these, structures or cultures or whatever, the story that's been going for such a long time. And so these beliefs are kind of what we inherit. So we are unraveling them. And I'm like you. I feel that anyone and everyone is a true leader deep down. When you are in your full connection with who you truly are, we are all like, we know who we are. We know our values. We stick to them because it's just obvious, and whatever else that it means to you to be a leader, like, that is deep down. So we're peeling away these patterns and conditionings and coming back to that knowing. But what's happened over the years, over such a long time, is that we've learned to not trust ourselves, and we've become sheeples. I like to call it
sheep. I love that.
There's so many sheeples. You're just told. You just do what you're told to do, and this has become. This has really gotten us into big trouble over the years. So I'd say, yeah, doing your inner work to get back to your natural state is your best bet. So, just to learn certain hard skills in leadership is good, but if you really want to take your life to the next level and be that leader, you are deep down, it's going to take that inner work, like you and I, Rachel, have done, like within the coaching programs, within
Right.
whatever else you find in personal development and spiritual growth to assist you in dropping all that crap, that tells us that we're not leaders already.
Yeah. So what I heard you highlight towards the end of that there was this difference between doing, which to me is being taught what skills a leader should have and all that sort of stuff, and actually just executing it. So that's the doing to me versus the being. And the working on the being comes from the inner work that you're talking about. Who are you being as a leader? How do you show up? What kind of energy do you bring to the table? Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I mean, you can tell, I mean, I'm so much more inspired, right, by a leader who has that level of being that's just, inspiring versus
Right.
somebody who's just doing all the right thing.
Right, right. They're just doing what they, the list of things they've been taught to do, and it's not the same. It's like walking into an ashram, for instance, and there's, this, I guess you could say guru, right? A guru who has done enough work to where their vibration, their energy is so expansive that you can feel that. So it's a feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And personally, when I'm in the space with someone, in our work, we talked about how a particular energy within someone will get that same energy within you. So when I'm in that space with somebody who's being, I don't know, when I think of types of leaders I'm inspired by, they're compassionate, they speak their truth, they're very grounded, all that sort of stuff. I can feel those qualities coming out of me, and I can recognize those in me, and I feel even more, almost like more permission to be that myself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that topic.
And that's a great leader, someone who's inspiring others to have those qualities come out within them as well. It's not about, being this guru. That's why I had said earlier that the guru, I mean, because I don't like the fact that some people like label themselves as that. And then the old conditioning or the old idea was that everyone, worships that guru, or they're the only one who can be like that, or like with the priest, you have to go through the priest to talk to God. I mean, this is giving our power away over and over. So, a true leader is someone who's going to help people know that they can also be a leader just as good as them or better. And that's
right.
That's a true leader in my eyes.
Yeah, that adage that leaders create leaders, not followers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking a lot about energy here and being versus doing, human beings versus human doings, right? And so this kind of reminds me of, I think it was last year, right? You went to London to give a talk at a conference to a group of the big leaders in the world from some very notable organizations, right? And you were talking about manifestation and leadership. What tips would you give to women who want to use manifestation to improve their own leadership skill? And can you link that to the conversation we just had around energy and being?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for women who are looking to use manifestation in their leadership abilities, that it's important to not like go over and over why you are where you are. And I get this with a lot of clients, a lot of people who I ask them, how is that project going, or how is this going, and they have excuses for why they are where they are, and I don't care. Like, of course, I want them to be happy and succeed, but it doesn't matter really, where you are right now. And the truth is that by describing where we are right now and continuing to tell that story and go over it and over it, it kind of just keeps you there. It keeps you stuck. So what I tell leaders who want to hone in on their manifestation skills is to really shape their future by speaking what you want to create. So, telling this new story and making sure that you enroll people around you in this new story as well, as much as you feel comfortable. It depends. If the people around you aren't going to help you co-create that new story, you may not want to tell them. Like if they're negative naysayers, for instance.
Right.
But as much as possible, just keep telling the new story. So like my partner Kyle and I, every morning we'll wake up and affirm what we're now creating and what we're now manifesting and birthing into the world. And this is our new reality. So this is like we're telling this new story over and over to each other and ourselves. And then the other thing is visualizing that as well. So visualization is a really powerful tool. And when you can hold the energy of this new vision that you would like to create for, as little as 17 seconds, and hold the feeling of what that brings up inside of you, the excitement, the gratitude, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. If you can really hold that, you are calling that to you, drawing that to you. So as much as it feels good to you, I would say visualize, use your creative imagination, just walk into the room, whatever it is you're wanting to experience, whether it's a crowd of people applauding for your speech or, a car, get behind the wheel, get in front of the people and imagine the best outcome and feel it and know it's possible. And you're really calling it to you in that way. And, you can use this with leadership and see yourself as this amazing leader and leading your tribe. And it really works. I've seen it over and over, and I teach it and I live it.
Yeah. So we're talking now not only about being as a leader, but creating as a leader and speaking your future into existence. So, speaking of the future, I know you have a women's leadership retreat coming up, which we mentioned at the top, and it's going to be in Costa Rica, where you are right now. So, what inspired you to create a women's leadership retreat?
Well, I really feel like it's time. It's time for women to shine and for their voices to be heard. There's this part of me that's like just rearing to, just support these women to their fullest and best expression. And I'm tired of the old. I'm tired of women not quite feeling ready or good enough or whatever it is. It's like I can see this new world like before my eyes. I see the possibilities. I have like shivers right now. Like I see it. And so it's my duty, it's my honor, and it's my divine life purpose to hold my hands out and say, hey, sister, I've got you. And, through all the work I've done with myself and my own personal inner work, I'm at a place on my path where I can reach out and say, whatever you're going through, I know how it feels. And maybe I don't, but either way, I'm ready to support you, no matter what it takes. So, I really hope to see more and more of this in the world. And I am. Like, I'm seeing other women's retreats popping up. I'm seeing sisterhoods being born, Facebook groups being born. So it's really an exciting time, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And I'm just, another woman who's willing and ready to be there for other women and create this sisterhood again. We had forgotten it, and we're remembering now, and it's super inspiring. And there's so much healing to be done with women to women, from the competition and jealousy and all those old stories and old wounds that we're healing, and we're growing together now. It's just my honor to be a part of that and to support that.
Yeah, I know how passionate about it you are, and I know it's been a topic of our conversations I met you in 2013, so I know it's been a topic of our conversations then, and so I'm pretty excited that you've created this. Awesome.
Thank you.
Can I ask, why a retreat?
Well,
I heard a lot in what you said about sisterhood, and I just want to I think you hosted a retreat last year, right? And I just can imagine that there's a particular kind of energy or something that's special about a retreat. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that retreats are awesome because, and I do 7-day retreats right now. We'll all do some different, versions later this year. But I love it because it's like it creates this big vortex of energy where everyone kind of steps out of their regular day to day life. And so far, I've been doing destination, retreats. And so you get to come to this paradise like, you know, place where you can all just leave your crap at the door and just be present and be with each other and support each other on a journey to where by the end of the day you're leaving a transformed person, a different person. You're lit up, you're inspired, and you're ready for whatever is next for you. You've gained the insights, you know what you need to do. And it's just this like way to do it in a pretty quick manner, but it's super powerful. And not to mention that everyone gets to bond with each other and create these lifelong friendships. There's like nothing bad about it in my mind. I love it so much. So that's the way I like to work. That's my favorite is retreats.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's the way forward. Um, so you talked a little bit there about what women might walk away with, or can expect to walk away with from this retreat. Is there anything is there anything more specific that either you're doing there at the retreat that you're hoping people will create something from, or
Yeah,
what
yeah,
else you
totally.
walk
I
away
mean,
with?
specifically, women will absolutely walk away with more support, which is huge. Sometimes, on your path of awakening, if you want to call it that, or your path of personal growth, you don't have those like-minded people around so much. Maybe your family doesn't quite get you, and so when you come to this retreat, you feel the inspiration and the support and the like-hearted, like-mindedness from all these other women, which is huge. And you walk, you leave with that. But personally and individually, you'll leave with more confidence for sure, feeling more worthy, more seen, more heard, more self-expressed, more safe in the world, more safe to feel, to be self-expressed and to be your true individual expression. I know that the women are going to leave inspired to go out there and actualize their dreams. But not only that, to really support their tribe in, actualizing their collaborative and collective dreams as well. So that's, it's really important and I've already, expressed this, but women knowing that they can be this powerful leader and lead their tribe to greater and greater levels of consciousness. So yeah, so much. But really, their life will be forever changed, and that's what I can guarantee.
Yeah,
So it's really exciting.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, when you were speaking there, it just actually reminded me of a sort of disempowering belief that I have around leadership. And that's that if I was to step into being a leader, I would be very, very lonely.
Mm,
And I think I'm not alone in that.
no,
I do think
I can
that
relate to that.
sometimes, and I think sometimes it can be a lonely place, depending on how you've created it. But it just reminded me of when we went through our training program, actually, which was a life and leadership coach training program, and the power of people coming together in support of one another when maybe there were other people who didn't support them in their lives. And
Mhm.
it was an opportunity for us as leaders and coaches and everything to come together. And it really provided me personally, I think with everybody else, something extra, something different, something that I'd never had before. And I can imagine that's probably very similar to
Yeah,
what a
absolutely.
retreat would provide. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love one-on-one coaching too, and you can get really deep and learn a lot about yourself, and it's great in its own regard. But retreats just offer that much more with the other people involved, and your support network. And this is something that, again, we've been programmed and conditioned to believe that we're alone and separate and have to do it all by ourselves. And
Right?
we're working
And
our way
figure it
out.
out all on our own and have all the answers and yeah.
Yeah, self-made millionaire. It's like, what? Why? Like,
No.
we're meant to work as a team. We're meant to be, in this unity way of doing things. And that's what we're moving into now. So the more you can do that, the more I do that, the more I go into these group programs or, just whatever, however I find myself within a group, it's always helpful. It just is, especially the supportive groups, definitely. Not necessarily the bars anymore, for instance. You can't just walk into a bar and expect everyone to be loving and supporting. I wish, but it's not quite there yet. But if you can, choose where you're going into these groups like this, these kinds of retreats, then you're setting yourself up for a lot more transformation and reminding yourself how loved and supported you truly are. Accepted.
Great. Is there anything else that you'd like us to know about the retreat?
No, not specifically. Other than the dates and the info, which I think that we'll go ahead and put in the video below. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
The text below.
Awesome.